This show is brought to you by these happy patrons. Hey there, you beautiful people! Welcome to the BNPR Show, the show where we feature the happenings in stylized rendering. Today's highlights are, first, we go outline crazy with not one, but 3 outline hacks you can try. Second, Unbroken custom normal is a thing. And 3, a surprise. Enough teasing, let's jump into the news. All the news today in this show is brought to you by our favorite NPR developer, Cody Winchester. First up, here's a new patch to preserve and interpolate vertex normals when subdivided. Before this patch, your custom normals with subdivision modifier looked like this, losing all the edited vertex normals. Yuck! With this patch, your painstakingly edited vertex normals will remain as in the unsubdivided model. If subdivided vertex editing mesh was a food, we would want seconds. Just look at that. Yum! So go show the patch some love. Second, the vertex normal add-on, Abnormal, is progressing well. Abnormal has its own mode, and in that mode, all the vertex normal editing tools are displayed clearly. Watch closely and see how fast Cody is manipulating the vertex normals. We want you to have that power soon. Now for the outline tricks. This first outline tip comes from Active Motion Pictures on YouTube. This outline renderer is a combination of a shader and a post-process. The first part is the object material. Here's the setup. We use a few texture coordinates to compare. In the tutorial video, generated, normal, and UV coordinates are used. The idea is to use colors from these coordinates to create unique colors for each mesh. The second part is after you hit F12 and in the compositor. It's a simple setup. A simple edge detection filter. For those of you who have bought our Pixel Math ebook, you can already see how to improve the pixel math in the shader and in the compositor. How about you give this tutorial a remake? A lot of fun stuff to discover. The second outline tip is from @luamono on Twitter. The steps are very simple and they can be summed up in these 6 images. 1. Ready your mesh. 2. Copy your base mesh and hide the original. Work on the copy by deleting only faces. 3. Delete the extra edges. The remaining edges will be the lines. 4. Subdivide the edges to make them have enough details for step 5. Number 5. 2 conversions. Mesh to curve, then curve to grease pencil. 6. Unhide the original mesh, then use the sculpt tools to change thickness, opacity, etc. This hack will only work well on meshes with a lot of flat surfaces. Making an outline using this method is very easy, so how about give it a try? The third outline tip is from @floathar on Twitter. This one is for meshes with many flat surfaces again. With the inverted normal solidify modifier, we can only get the silhouette outline. The inner lines are missing. This tip solves the missing inner lines using a bevel modifier. Here are the steps. First, add 2 materials, one for the object shading and another one for the outline color. Second, add the solidify modifier, set the thickness, invert the normals, and select the outline material. Third, guess what? You can choose a different material for the bevel modifier. And just like that, we have creased inner lines. One more. This infographic for vertex normal editing comes from @Yulis on Twitter. Controllable vertex normals are very easy if you have to point a group of vertex normals to one direction. For each side of the face, the left face often is pointing more towards the left, and the right side's vertex normals point to the right. If you want a few faces permanently in the shadow, like under the lips or under the nose, point the vertex normals down. Those faces will only be lit when the light is pointing from below. The only hard part of vertex normal editing is making a smooth shading transition. To make that task easy, we need the Abnormal add-on. More of that later. Here are a few more bonus tutorials that will be worth your time. First, it's Easy Stylized Hair Tails by @RikiKuri. You can make the tails at any length and they are easy to make. Second is a halftone shader by Paul O. Kagigi. Just one correction we wanted to add. The last input, called saturation, is actually a value blend mode factor and not a saturation as in color saturation. Third is how to make a metallic material by Lightning Boy Studio, part 3 of the Toon Shading series. Fourth, making a better cell shader by the friend of the show, Node Spaghetti. This one is really good and detailed, so be sure to watch it multiple times. And now it's time for the public reveal. You can now download and use Abnormal, the Vertex Normal Editor. The development of Abnormal is funded by the BNPR community, so thank you all for helping make this happen. Here are the features. We have a Vertex Normal Editing mode, mirror normals and axis alignment, flip normals direction and reset normal, normal manipulation, like average and smooth normals, copy and pasting normals, and targeted normal, like spherized normal and normals pointing to a target. We also have a gizmo with a hidden incremental adjustment menu. If you find the gizmo blocking selections, you can turn it off as well. And if you love the right-click selection, you can also toggle right-click selection. And as a bonus, all the possible key maps are listed to help you master Vertex Normal Editing quickly. The download link is in the show notes. If you want to report a bug or improve on the add-on, we have the link there too. You have been waiting for this. Presenting the NPR Artworks of the Month. When we first saw this animation by Pasta on BNPR Discord server, we couldn't believe our eyes. It feels nothing like a 3D render. There are 4 parts to make this render feel 2D. First, the animation is frame by frame, without any interpolation. Second, the face and the hair are a grease pencil sketch. Since we focus more on the face, this distracts us from seeing the 3D model, which is everything else. Third, we can see all the human errors everywhere in the animation. These errors remove the CG feel. The muted colors and the old VHS artifacts sold the animation as a hand-drawn nostalgic piece. I would say this animation is the pinnacle of NPR animation. Great work, Pasta! Snow Silver is a music video for the vocal Eve. The snow sliding scene is entirely done in Blender. It contains all the elements in 3D and hand-drawn animation, plus the scene bends. You can see the projection mapping work in a tweet posted by @PancakeLab. The shots are quite complex to plan. Brilliant work. The MiHoYo anime team is at it again with an animated short, Meteoric Salvation for Honkai Impact 3rd. Wow, that's a mouthful. What's awesome in this animation? The camera work is very well done. Every camera movement feels like a frame in a manga. The fact that the movement and cuts flow so well means a ton of work and planning have gone into them. Go watch it if you haven't. For those of you who want to learn the camera animation, please watch it in slow motion. And now, if you want to chill out, the second episode of Penguin Colors by Mine is now available. It consists of many animated shorts combined to show the life of penguins. We won't show much since we don't want to spoil it for you. We have a few more bonus NPR animations in the show notes, so go check them out. That seems to be it for this show. If you want more, we have plenty more in the show notes. Link to that in the video description. Please subscribe if you have not. You can find us in these places as well. These are the awesome people funding the creation of this show. Thanks again for keeping the show running for everyone. Before we go, one last question. How will you utilize the Abnormal add-on?